as much as I'm out there doing shit now, I still going to downtown Cleveland is such a fucking pain in the dick. And it's not even 1/10 as big of a pain in the dick as Chicago.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's still now, you haven't been to downtown in a while, have you?
Cleveland?
Yeah.
No, I think the last time I was downtown Cleveland was when you and I went to the House of Blues when Broken Bones was coming out.
Okay. So that was before they fucked up now all the streets are one way and they got fucking bike lanes and berms so you can't turn around. You got to go fucking 15 blocks to turn around. I always fuck it up with the parking situation over there by the House of Blues, because I always end up coming up the wrong side of the street for the House of Blues. Then I got to go fucking, all I want to do is park in the parking lot across the street from the House of Blues. I don't care what it costs. That's where I want to park because I'm fat and lazy and I don't want to walk 10 blocks.
Sure.
But every time I come up the wrong way and then I end up having to fucking drive like 8 miles out of my way to turn around to get back to that fucking parking garage right across the street. It's a real pain in the dick, and Cleveland has become a real pain in the ass to fucking park in now. And I don't know why they had to ruin it. It was so convenient before. Now they got all this bullshit set up for trolleys and buses and shit, bus lanes, bike lanes. It's like, who's riding a bike in downtown Cleveland?
So what is the main attraction downtown? Is it a casino?
Probably the casino, but I don't even see a ton of people in there. I mean, I'm going to assume the casino is it, where people can fucking throw their money away. But I don't know, the casino, it was the Cavs up until this year. The Cavs with LeBron. I mean, the Indians do okay. The Browns still do pretty well. I mean, there's things, I guess, to do. But, yeah, I would imagine day to day it's probably the casino. Maybe some restaurants.
Okay.
Mallorca or something. I don't know. I do not go down there very often anymore at all. Maybe Playhouse Square. The plays and shit are probably, now that it's a more faggy hipster crowd that hangs out, maybe the plays are doing more business. I don't know.
Faggy hipster crowd.
Well, what would you call those guys?
I have no idea. I just stay as far away from them as I can.
Yeah, I mean, they're all swishy and girly. They're all like, all right, let's go to the play.
What has happened? I know we're jumping all over the place, but what has happened to males in general that they're becoming so effeminate?
There's not a dad in there that fucking will bust them in the head and say, hey, stop being such a faggot.
Yeah.
Dude, if we did, here's the difference. In today's world, everybody wants you to explore. They want you to explore your sexuality. They want you to explore who you are as a person. They want you to explore what you believe in. Everything's this big exploring territory, right?
Yeah.
When we were kids, dude, if I would have put on my mom's shoes, just fucking around when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
My dad, he wouldn't have hit me or nothing, but he would have screamed the fagginess out of me.
Right.
My dad would have fucking said, get out of those shoes. And he'd have put me nose against the fucking door for like an hour until my legs hurt from standing there. And he'd be like, that's what I'm going to do anytime you put on any kind of girl's clothes.
Right.
That's just the way it was. Our dads weren't going to stand for that. Our fathers were not willing to be embarrassed by us being fruits in front of their friends. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
And in our generation, my age, in the 45 to 55 generation, too many of the parents trying to be their kid's friend instead of trying to be their father.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, so you're going to wear makeup. Well, okay. It's not what, I've heard this a zillion times from guys my age talking about their kids, and their answer is always, not what I would have done as a kid, but I got to let him express himself any way he wants. No, you don't. Tell him, stop it, Fruity. I mean, fucking A.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened. There hasn't been enough dominant male parenting, and now you've got a generation of non-dominant males.
Yeah. Well, I notice all the mannerisms. One of the things that I do go to, on a weekly basis, once or twice a week, is I literally have a grocery store within a stone's throw of my subdivision here.
Okay.
I mean, it's literally at the back of my subdivision, so it's not even a full block away. That's how close it is.
Right.
So it's very convenient for me to stop in there and pick a couple of things up real quick on my way home or whatnot.
Sure.
And I notice that all the time. I walk in there, and if I'm only picking up a few things, if I need to get some kind of a basket, they got the little hand baskets.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the hand basket and, carry it by the handle. Well, I notice these, like you call them, faggy hipster guys.
Yeah.
When they come in and pick up one of those baskets, they slip it over their arm like a purse.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just like, where did you learn that?
Yeah, well, and you've made this point numerous times. That part comes from the mom being the sole raiser of the kid.
Yeah, more or less.
The mom being the driver and the kid sitting in the passenger seat, like the bitch he becomes.
Yeah, they slip it up over their arm like they're carrying a purse, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I would never do that. I would never, if I was carrying, and this is the way I am, and, maybe I'm just straight up super hetero or something, I don't know, but if I was trying to carry, I don't know, a turkey, and I also had a cart like that, I'd either find a way to keep it in my hand, or if it was too heavy, I'd throw that motherfucker on the floor and kick it forward. I'd be holding the turkey while kicking the fucking basket in front of me.
Right.
There's no way would I put it on my arm like a chick. There's no fucking way.
I agree with you there.
I mean, honestly.
It's so funny.
It's sad, and we know what happened. And, dude, the thing that's the scariest part about it is it's gone on so much that people think that you're just a bully if you're just a guy.
Yeah.
How dare you be that tough and mean and, and say what you think and not be considerate of what anybody else thinks or says.
A little more sensitive.
Yeah, how dare you? It's like, fuck you.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Poon Hounds, it's Lou from the Lou.
Hey, what's up, Lou from the Lou? Why don't you inspire us with a message of male dominance there in the city of St. Louis?
Well, man, it's like what Chris was saying earlier, man. If I would have pranced around the house like a fucking Tinkerbell or whatnot, my dad would have beat the fag nasties out of me.
There you go.
Damn right. I remember one time him telling my brother, don't you dare embarrass me in front of my friends, acting like a fruit. That's how it was, and you can't do that now. Now that's considered child abuse or being a dick or whatnot. I mean, hell, there was this kid growing up in her neighborhood that you knew was going to be sucking dick when he got older. And sure enough, he's sucking dick. And my dad did not want any of us hanging out with him because everybody in the neighborhood thought he was gay. My dad, you ain't bringing that fag over here. People start thinking you're a fag.
Dude, I remember a time my parents used to they would have their friends over and they would play Yahtzee. They would all get fucked up. They would drink this Lancer's fucking wine and they would play Yahtzee. And every once in a while they would fucking let us play as well. And I remember one specific time that I did like a girl's voice just as an impression. I was like trying to tell a joke or something and I did like a girl's voice. My dad removed me from the fucking table. He was like, get out of here with that shit. Go to your room. You're grounded. I was grounded because I did a girl's voice. There was none of that. My father wasn't putting up with that nonsense.
The same here. If I wanted to explore different sexualities, my dad would explore the backside of my head with his hand.
Exactly. Or a ball bat or something. He'd have beat the fag out of you.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, beat the fag nasties out of you.
Fag nasties.
And that's why a lot of men today pee sitting down. There's no strong male role models. We're teaching men to be sensitive now, to explore. We're not teaching men to be men. We're teaching men to be pussies and fags. Excuse me, back when I was a teacher, the whole parents as my friend. My dad wasn't my friend. Oh. And I didn't want to be friends with my dad. I didn't think my dad was cool. Parents weren't supposed to be cool. You play your music loud. They're supposed to yell, "Hey, turn that shit off," or "Turn that shit down," or "Make me come up there." They're not. You blast your music. They're like, "Hey, that's pretty good. Turn it up louder." I mean, it's just so ass backwards now.
Yeah. When I was a kid, and both of you can chime in on this if you agree, I was friendly with my dad. But there was always that switch where if my dad said something a certain way, I knew he was no longer being friendly. He was being my dad, and I better fucking listen, or else there was going to be a fucking real problem real fast.
Yeah, back in the days when you wait till your father gets home meant something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mom used to do that one all the time. She'd be like, "Go out there and clean the garage." "Oh, come on, Mom, I'm going to watch fucking Live Aid or something." And she'd be like, "Do I need to wait till your dad gets home to tell you?" "Nope, fuck that. Where's the garbage bags?"
Exactly. I mean, I grew up with 4 brothers. We'd all be, acting out, pretend to be your favorite wrestlers, putting moves on, wrestling around. And your mom would be like, "Boys, you stop that. Boys, yeah, okay, Mom. Yeah, boys, you better knock that off. Stop that." No, whatever, Mom. And then the minute she said, "Well, your father's going to be home in 5 minutes," we stopped. That shit ended real quick.
Dude, I remember a time that my dad came out. I was riding a girl's bike. Like I was trying to, and I was little. I couldn't have been more than 8. And I was trying to impress some girl in the neighborhood, so I fixed her bike chain or something. And I just got up on her bike and started riding it around to make sure that the bike chain was on her bike. My dad came. He was sitting in a lawn chair in the front of the yard. He came running down the fucking yard. He was like, "You get off of that bike. What are you doing? That's a girl's bike. Get off of that." I was like, "Okay, Dad, You didn't do any of that shit." Absolutely. Your dad was not going to put up with that kind of shit back then.
No.
And you know what? None of us will put up with that kind of shit now.
Nope. No, there'll be, if I were ever to get married and have kids, after I'm dead, my son could go explore wherever the hell he wants to do. But damn it, not when I'm alive. And you can... And you can call Child Protective Services or whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. But God damn it, parents need to be parents. I mean, as I was trying to say earlier, when I was a teacher, a call home from school used to terrify you.
Fuck
now, if you call the school, it's, "Well, what'd you do to make my kid do this?"
Mm-hmm.
You're the one getting grilled. You're the one getting in trouble. I mean, there was a couple times getting sent home from school and just waiting for the phone call. Knew the phone call was coming, and then knew there was going to be hell to pay. Now it's whatever parents are involved. "What'd you do to my baby? What'd you do to my baby?" Baby was acting like a complete freaking shithead and disrupting the whole goddamn classroom. But well, he don't do that at home, which is my favorite fucking quote of all time. If I had a nickel for every parent that told me, "Well, he doesn't do that at home," I'd be able to retire.
Yeah.
But, parents need to be feared again.
Yeah. I remember one time and this was in high school, no less. This was like my freshman, maybe sophomore year of high school. I was throwing French fries at this one girl that we all made fun of in the lunchroom. And I was throwing French fries at her. Well, I got caught, and the principal took me down to the office, and he's like, "I'm going to have to give you SWATs or in-school suspension, one of the two." And he's like, "But I'm going to call your mom." And I was like, "Oh, fuck." And this is my mom, not my dad, but my mom. So he calls my mom and says he can either have a day in-school suspension or a SWAT. And my mom tells the principal, "Give him 2 or 3 to make sure he knows what he fucking did." And the fucking principal damn near caved my goddamn tailbone in, fucking hitting me 3 times. He knocked the shit out of me. And then I got home, and I got my mom saying, "You're grounded. You'll find out how much when your dad gets home."
Right.
And oh my God, then I had to deal with my dad, so I had to deal with getting my ass beat by the principal, then grounded by my mom, and then fucking manual labor like a goddamn slave for a couple of weeks with my dad. It was
the worst was waiting for your dad to come home.
Oh, that was the worst. You'd be sitting there just sweating it and like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst, and I'm going to die.
Heaven forbid your old man had a bad day.
Oh, yeah. Or was tired, hadn't slept, because my dad worked early, too. My dad was like 4:30 in the morning till like, he would get home at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so he was doing 12-hour days. And, he would come home, and if my mom had called him at like noon or something, where he had 4 hours to stew, he would come in my room, and the only thing I would watch is make sure his hands weren't going for that belt. I was like, ooh, I'm really hoping I don't get my ass fucking beaten with that thing.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you see the way kids are raised today, and it makes you appreciate the way we were raised.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we were told no. And we know how to handle being told no. We know how to how to handle failure, not being successful or at something. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, you move on.
Dude, you got cracked as a kid? Like your dad would give you a smack or whatever?
Oh God, yes.
Okay. Do you look at it any time? Do you look at any time of that now and say, "Oh, that was bad"?
No. He's doing his job.
Yeah. See, and I'm the same exact way. Same exact way. It's like, you know what? Taught me lessons that kept me out of trouble as a man.
And there were a couple times we didn't even do nothing before we leave to go someplace. He'd whack up upside the head, and he's like, "What the hell is that for?" It's like, "Well, that's let you know what's going to happen if you step out of line today."
Dude, was your dad my dad?
I think dads. I think a lot of dads of that era were very, very similar.
Yeah, it was that's what they did. That was their job. Was to raise you right. So when you become a man, you know how to handle life. You can be successful on your own.
Yeah.
Tough love, man.
Mm-hmm.
No such thing anymore. Now it's all pussified now. I'm my kid's son. My son wants to wear a dress, and if he's in kindergarten, let him. He's just working it out. It's just, like when you guys were doing that damn queer kid stuff. At that age, how do you know? How do you know you don't like pussy if you ain't had pussy?
Right.
Until you went down and ate some pussy or fucked some pussy or, sucked a couple titties, how do you know you don't like it?
Right. Yeah, but you got to find that out on your own, too. You don't need to be told by your fucking parents what your choices are. You need to find that out on your own.
I didn't have a choice. I was a goddamn dude, whether I wanted to be one or not, thank God.
Well, no, I get that, but you were raised a certain way to be that. What I'm saying is you weren't making that decision when you were fucking 6.
No, hell, 6. I didn't know what my pecker was for other than peeing with it.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, you were more worried about just getting the water in the fucking right hole in the fucking toilet.
Exactly.
Not getting your ass beat for pissing your pants.
Or pissing on the toilet seat.
Yeah. That was another one old dad would get fucking not happy about.
All right. Well, it seems like similar experiences are all around, which is why we're just like regular dudes.
Yeah, real Hallmark Channel moment here. That's for sure.
All right, Lou from the Lou. Go back to terrorizing the neighborhood.
Well, actually, I'm watching a hockey game right now, and I love it when my favorite team plays against has a black guy on the team, because whenever he has the puck, you got 5 angry white men with sticks chasing him around the ice. Pretty my kind of sport.
Right.
Jesus.
Right. So, but. All righty. Well, my manager's getting hold of me, tapping me on the shoulder. So, hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.
All right. Well, there goes Lou from the Lou.
There you go.
He's always got that traditional male testosterone input.
Sounds like Lou and I's father went to the same school of raising kids.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was very, very similar in a lot of those things.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, it just was the way it was. I cannot even fathom. I'm so glad, I mean, it was kind of the same way when I was raising my kids. My kids knew that they did not want their mom to come to me with anything.
Right.
Because it was just going to be a nightmare. I would work them to death, and I've told those stories on the show before, but I would work them to death if I had to. And really, it was one part parenting, but it was another part of I just didn't want to be fucked with. I just really, really was like, I don't have time for this shit. So if I'm being bothered with this shit, then I'm going to make it fucking really bad so that you don't fucking bother me with this shit anymore. And it ended up that, all my kids are fucking doing fine. They're all fucking in their mid-20s and they're doing well in life. So it's like, I guess it worked.
When I was married for a very short time, during the 3 years of hell that I endured,
right?
I remember having a discussion with my then wife about if we were to ever have children.
Okay.
And talking about, raising them and things like that. And, I was, telling her about being brought up, how I was brought up and stuff. And, and then, of course, the discussion of discipline came up.
Right.
And her stance on that was, well, you're never going to spank our kids.
All right.
You're never going to, discipline our kids because my dad hit me with a slipper once.
Slipper?
A slipper.
Oh, my God.
And I'll never forget that as long as I live, and I'm not going to traumatize our kids that way.
Oh, brother. And you were like, okay, terrific.
So, needless to say, that never transpired. It was like, yeah, okay, well, that's never going to happen.
That's when you were like, I'll keep my dick over here.
Yeah.
You will only see this dick when it's wrapped in a coat.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, that's an interesting opening for the show.
Yeah, I don't know that it was focused at all, but okay.
Oh, it wasn't focused, but I think a lot of our fans could relate.
Sure, I would say so.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, we're going to play a couple of tunes. We'll come back. We'll do some more stuff. Our good friend Demon in the chat room, she wanted to hear the new one from Queensryche.
Okay.
And we'll play that. And the new one is called Man the Machine.
Yes, it's a good tune.
And it's actually a really good tune. I was very pleasantly surprised when I heard it. And I thought, man, it's an old school sounding Queensryche song.
Yes, sir.
And I guess Todd LaTorre also played the drums on this.
Did he?
That's what I'm being told, since Scott Rockenfeld seems to be MIA with where Queensryche is concerned.
Well, I guess we'll find out when they start playing shows, won't we?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, here's something from their forthcoming release in 2019. And the name of this tune is called Man the Machine. Queensryche exclusively here
on your classic metal show.